feel like I'm playing the world's most dangerous game of Tetris. You're on a pile of books right now, standing in the middle of my room on top of a bin. The pile of books is at least 20 tall. I need a tripod. Anyway, hello people. Welcome to my February TBR. And now you're not even centered. You are centered, but you're centered wrong. Oh no. Is this better? This is better. I don't think I can get any better than this. Okay. Hello people, I have been working for the past 20 minutes to get you on a tripod that works, and you are currently on my Christmas tree box, propped up with books all around it in the middle of my floor, but also slightly to the left of my beautiful TBR pile, because that was hard for a little bit there. But for the first time in my life, I read every single book on my January TBR. Thank you. Yes, I know. It's been a long time coming. Anyway, but I need to give a very real and sad apology to my TBR dice, because it's just been trying to help me all these months, and I never listened to it, and I got mad at it several times for the choices it chose. But this month it chose right. It just chose so good. Every book was good, and every book that was bad I needed to get off my TBR, and it knew everything, and I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry for not trusting you sooner and better and more in my soul, and I'm so sorry. Anyway, I had to have a credit clip in there. I didn't download all of those music files for nothing. I have something very special we're gonna do for the TBR. Number one, I have multiple books on here that I'm thinking about reading. Also, I should move all these trinkets off because that would be annoying in a little bit. There are multiple books that I want to read this month, and I'm already planning on reading this month. We're gonna see if the TBR and I can suss out my brain. So, a little bit of rules. I rolled this little guy 2 times, multiply them together, and then I count in whatever way I'm thinking down. I think I'm gonna go like down this way and then down that way, and then count down that many, and whatever book it lands on is the book that we're gonna read. I think I'm gonna do it. If it picks the books I'm already planning on reading this month, then I will count that as book. So I'm planning on reading already like 3-ish of this pile this month, but if it picks one of those books, then I will pick another book to read. So I think I'm gonna roll it. I think I'm gonna roll it 5 times, but if it picks one of the books in my brain, then I'll roll it another time because it's one I already chose. Okay, that makes sense. And then if I roll 2 6s, I get to pick a reread to read. So that's fun. Also, my TBR jar from last month is holding a bunch of candy canes. So I needed a new one. And I found this little like plate thing that's a heart, and I thought it was cute. It would work for Valentine's Day in February, but I tried it, and it just is a little bit too chaotic because it'll just fall out randomly, and that like works, but it wasn't like the thing I was going for. So I decided we're gonna use a balloon. Here, I'll show you why in a second. It's a heart. All right, so now we're gonna go like this, and then I guess I don't know, we'll figure it out how it's gonna get out of the balloon, but this is so dumb. Okay, it's a 3. That was so overly complicated. Okay, we have a 3. And a 6. Okay, we have a 3 and a 6. That makes 18. We're gonna start from this side. 17, 18. Oh, okay. We've got Lemon Tart by Josie S. Kilpack. Those balloons taste so bad. We have a 5 and a 2. All right, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, I was thinking about this book. Flamecaster by Cinda Williams Chima. This is the first book in the Shattered Realms series. That was kind of one I was thinking about, but not one specifically. So we're gonna roll 3 more times. No, I don't want it to twist together. We got a 6. I don't know why this is so funny to me. Okay. He's so lightheaded. And a 6! Ah! This is the first time I get to pick a reread. Okay, alright. So I've got several things on my brain. I want to do a reread of Borrow My Heart by Casey West, and I want to do First Day as a reread. They're over here. I just rearranged my books, so some of them are over here. And then on this shelf, are there any books I really wanted to do a reread of? Not necessarily. I wanted to do a Steelheart reread too. I don't know. I think Steelheart is currently being used as a support beam for you though. Oh no, it's on the first shelf. Let me grab the books I'm thinking about. Here are our options. We have An Old-Fashioned Girl by Louisa May Alcott. I've been thinking about this book. This one kind of gives me more Christmas though, so maybe? We have First Day by Ali Condi. I'm going to read this month, whether I put it on my TBR or not, so I don't know if it's like really truly necessary to put on my TBR. We have Borrow My Heart by Casey West. I have been itching to do a reread of this, and I told myself I could do it in February, so this is a pretty high contender. And then we have Steelheart by Brandon Sanderson. This one I've been wanting to reread as of yesterday. I was thinking about it, and I was like, I want to reread Steelheart, so we're going to have the die choose, because honestly, I can't choose, so... Oh, I have to put in a balloon. Who am I, a degenerate? Oh, it went under here. Oh, we have 3. Ooh, all right. 3 is First Day by Ali Condi. Yay. All right, die. You chose the one I was thinking about, so we're going to roll 3 times more, I guess. Okay, we got a 1. First 1 of this time. I got so many 1s last time. And we got a 4. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh my goodness. Another things I wish we'd known before we got married. This technically isn't a book. I've read this book before. I just put it on there because I think it's a book that would be important to read all the time. So I don't know if I'm ever gonna like permanently put it on my bookshelf. I might just like read it and then put it back on my TBR pile whenever I want to reread it. I mean, I guess I should keep up my streak of reading a nonfiction book every month this year. That'd probably be really good for my, I don't know, my brain or something like that. You're doing good, Di. You're doing good. Okay, 2 more times. We got a 3. And a 2. That's 6. All right. 4, 5, 6. It knows. It knows. It knows. Okay. Better Than Revenge by Casey West. I'm so excited. I was gonna read this month anyway. This die knows me. This die knows me so well. All right, we're gonna roll 2 more times, I guess. Got a little heart. It's not looking like a heart anymore. It kind of just looks like a blob. Oh, it's off. We got a 1. I'm definitely gonna like it. And a 5. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Wait, I have to figure out which one's the first book. I think it's The Queen's Poisoner. Okay, we have The Queen's Poisoner by Jeff Wheeler. I have been wanting to read this. I got this for Christmas and I have been thinking about it, and I'm actually really excited. Okay, 1 more time, I guess. How many books do we have? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, 1 more book because I don't want to overload this too much. 2. Okay, we got a 1. That's a 2. 1, 2. All right. Okay, we've got The Wolf Princess by Catherine Constable. Do I want to do this 1 more time? I want to do it 1 more time, just for fun. Okay, why not? Why not? We got a 2. Ah! That was dramatic. Okay, we got... Oh, I just spit all over me. That was disgusting. I guess that's my fault for using a balloon. Okay, we have an 8. 6, 7, 8. Oh, alright then. I landed on Cassandra Clare, which means I need to read the second book in the City of Bones, or what is it? The Mortal Instruments? Yeah, that means I need to find the second book in the Mortal Instruments series and read it this month if I want to. That was good. I am throwing away this balloon. It is gross now. Or should I should blow it up and let it keep us company. Because this balloon played as much part in this as anything else did. It is so funny. It's just this like, it doesn't even look like a heart anymore. It just looks like a blob. I'm gonna pull up a chair. Actually, if I sit down, yeah, you won't be able to see me if I sit down. Okay. All right, this is our TBR for this month. I guess this is kind of on the TBR too. I'm reading this to my boyfriend right now. It's My Fair Godmother by Jeanette Rollison. I have read it before. It's a like fairy tale retelling where she gets a fairy godmother, and it's really cute. Next on the TBR, we just got The Wolf Princess by Catherine Constable. I found this at DI, and my boyfriend's also reading it. I know it's like a YA or a middle grade princess story, and I love princess stories. I'm a sucker for them, so I have been wanting to read this, so this would be really fun to read. The Queen's Poisoner by Jeff Wheeler. This is the first book in the King Fountain series. It's one of the only series by him I haven't been able to read because I physically could not get my hands on it. But then for Christmas, my mom gave me the last 4 books in the series that I needed to be able to read the series, and now I can read it, and I'm so excited. I might take my time, or I might read them like a voracious beast, so we'll see what I decide to do this month. But we have the first book. So kind of the preface of this story is that like in this country, they have these things called poisoners, which basically are like assassins. I think it follows a guy learning how to be a poisoner. I'm not quite sure. I have read so many books that are like in this country. There's like a series, it's the prequel series, that's kind of like how the country got set up, and I read that one. And then there's a prequel series to this series that I read the first two in, so I'm not quite sure where this one's gonna start, but I am interested to read it. Now we have Better Than Revenge. Oh, I need to move the other two on here that I was going to read this one. Okay, we'll talk about those at the end. We have Better Than Revenge by Casey West. I am beyond ecstatic to read this book. I have been waiting to read it for like 2 weeks, and I've been the most patient I've ever been in my entire life, if you can believe it. I love her rom-coms. This one follows, I'm like not even like looking at the synopsis because I don't want to ruin anything for myself, but I know it has to do with a girl who joins a podcast for some reason to get back at her ex, and then there's a really cute really cute football player that for some reason joins the podcast. Don't know the plot, don't want to know the plot. I'm gonna binge read this probably like tomorrow. I'm so excited. Then we have Things I Wish I Knew Before We Got Married. I have read this book before. This will be a reread, but I put it on the TBR cart because I wanted to do a reread. It is basically like not just like good advice for people when they get married, it's like how to navigate being married when you've never like lived with someone before. It is really interesting. It's a very good read. I read it when my boyfriend and I were first dating because his dad gave it to us, which was funny because we weren't even thinking about marriage at that point. But First Day by Ali Condi. This book is the second book in the yearbook series, and I am so happy to read it. I've reread the first book in December, and I have been itching to pick this up ever since, but I was prioritizing reading Wind and Truth last month, so read that instead, but I'm excited to read this. This one has my favorite character as the main character, and when I read it the first time, I didn't like, I guess my new current favorite character is the main character. And when I read it the first time, I didn't like empathize with her quite as much because I wasn't in the same like type of life circumstances, but now that I'm like kind of in college, out of college, and I'm like thinking about getting married and like more seriously debating things, this will like hit really hard. Flamecaster by Cinda Williams Chima. I have read another series by her at my boyfriend's recommendation. His recommendations are always really, really good, and I'm excited to read this one. I found this one at DI. I have no idea what this book is about. I assume it's either in the same series I read before or it's a completely different series. Either way, it should be really interesting. Lemon Tart by Josie S. Kilpack. I just read a bunch of her books last month because I had another one of her books on my TBR last month, but this one I've seen these at the library like constantly, and I found the first book at DI the other day and I was like, score, I've been wanting to read this series, so I might as well have the first book because they're such cute spines and covers. Like, even if I don't love the book, I'm keeping it on my shelf because it's gorgeous. Now these are the books that I was thinking about reading for a specific video this month, and you might guess it just by like the titles and stuff, but I'm not gonna spoil it for you. Anyway, Charlie by Jack Wayland. I have had the second book, Sam, on my TBR for like forever, and I finally found this one at the thrift store the other day and I want to read it. I know it's a romance of some kind, but I don't like want to read it because I've heard that it's like either really hard hitting or it's a cute rom-com. I don't know, but I don't want to spoil anything. Then we have Magnolia Parks by Jessa Hastings. I want to read this book this month, and it's been a long time since I've decided to read this book, and I have had the book on my TBR forever and I just haven't picked it up, but I think this is the month to read this girl. I personally don't like swearing, so I'm going to be going through and I'm going to be using my handy dandy little whiteout pencil thing, and I'm whitening out all the swearing and stuff. So that's why I bought my own copy, because I needed to do that to be able to read the book and like, I don't know, handle all the swearing that's in it. So if I do really like this book, I will probably buy the rest of the books in the series, but slowly over the course of the year, and I will be whitening them out because there's a lot of swearing in these books. Borrow My Heart by Casey West. I have owned this book for probably a year and a bit now. The first time I read it, I was in like a severe reading slump, so I didn't like enjoy it as much as I know that I probably will if I reread it. And so I want to reread it this month because it's a romance, obviously, and it has dogs in it, and that sounds cute too. All right, let's see how mean I was to myself this month. All right, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 books. That's not bad. That's not bad. Also because I knew I was going to read some of these books this month anyway, so that's not terrible. This has been my TBR for this month, and thank you to this balloon. It has been a real VIP of this video. And also the TBR die. It shows exceptionally well, and I'm so excited to read all of these books. Hopefully I will read them all. We'll see. You never know. I might keep up my streak, mostly because I really like doodling in my reading journal, and it's really fun to draw in all of the books once I read them, but that's neither here nor there. Anyway, thank you for coming along with me. Thank you for watching this video. I will see you in my next one at some point. Who knows when that is. And yeah, happy February. Goodbye. Does that look like a heart? That looks like a heart. can't tie a balloon with one hand. Where did it go? It like yeeted itself across the room. Okay, that balloon is gone forever apparently. Where? What? Who? When? Where? What? How?